Entering the third month of 2025, and I'm with Head of Asset Management James Timpson to see what's been happening in markets throughout February. James, hi, give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of geopolitical and macro uncertainty recently, and this has led to quite a varied month in terms of markets doing well and some markets not doing so well. A market which has done well here in the UK, large cap stocks measured by the FTSE 100. This index has actually had its best start to the year. It's up more than 8%. It's best start to the year since 2013. And actually, if it was up another little bit, another 0.5% or so, then it would actually be the best start to the year for the FTSE 100 since 1991, just before I was born. So UK large cap stocks, they've been doing really quite well.
And what does that mean for the Courtiers funds?
Yeah, so we are directly invested in the FTSE 100. We've been quite bullish on the UK for some time now, so we have direct exposure to the index itself through both futures and call options, and also direct exposure to specific UK stocks, which we like for their value characteristics. So it's been a really good time for UK large caps. Mid and small caps, they've been struggling a bit more, so we had that inflation data come in last month, which was much stronger than expected. It was up at 3%, its highest level for 10 months or so. So medium and small cap stocks were more badly affected by that. But large cap stocks are still doing really well. And also in Europe as well. European stocks, you think they might be struggling at the moment, what with all this uncertainty over tariffs, but actually they've pretty much brushed that off. The Euro Stoxx 50 index and the Stoxx 600 index, two fairly broad European indices, they're both up around 3.5% in the last month.
Is the tariff story still unfolding for markets?
Yes, and I suspect it will be for quite some time. So I expect we'll see plenty of volatility. Difficult to know where it's going to go, but it's at times like this when you've got some markets doing really well and other markets not doing so well. When you've got all this divergence, it really does sort of highlight the importance of having lots of diversification in your portfolio. Because the truth is, you don't know, at any given time which markets are going to be the top performers. So it's so important that you have that diversification. If you'd been fully invested, for example, in the Magnificent Seven so far this year, yes. So the Magnificent Seven has just had its worst month for over 2 years. Bloomberg has an index, it's just called the Bloomberg Mag 7 Total Return Index. It fell more than 8% last month. Its worst month since December 2022. So if you decided to pile in all your money on that, then you'd have just lost over 8% in just 1 month. And what we try and do is mitigate that. We ensure we have plenty of diversification so that we're not so wholly exposed to just one sector.
It's easy to focus on the US and Trump and Mag 7 and tariffs and everything that's happening over there. But what about in the UK? Is there anything happening that the government's doing, that our UK banks are doing, that's affecting what the investment team's doing?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that it's been a really good start to the year for the UK. And part of the reason for that is it's been a good time for banks. So at the moment, we've got a period of generally falling interest rates, and that tends to be good for banks because it becomes cheaper to borrow. So UK banks and European banks have had a really good start to the year. And we have exposure to these banks, some direct, such as Barclays and Lloyds, but also you have exposure to them through the indices themselves. And actually the FTSE Banks Index last month returned more than 11%. So the banks have been a really positive performer in the funds in the last couple of months.
James, thank you for the insight. I'm mindful, as far as my maths can extend, that next month we'll be looking at the first 25% of 2025.
Correct.
So I look forward to speaking to you and Jake then. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions, do speak to your advisor or contact us and we'll happily get you the answers. Thank you.